There are some things I'll take a chance on, but life is already enough of a gamble for me to put my whole nest egg in the share market. So I take a calmer path. By investing in private credit, I know my money could be growing, not yo-yoing.
From Barangaroo Studios, the AusBiz COB is the key stuff you need to know about the day in business and finance.
Hello and welcome to the COB on this Monday. I'm Andrew Gagan. Thanks for joining us here at AusBiz as we get September underway, negatively as the case may be. Just taking a look at where we're likely to end up. The CBO 200 off more than 0.5%. Similar moves we've seen on the ASX 200. So it's just a bit of profit taking and a readjustment as we get September underway. The share market, in fact, at a 2-week low, and that as gold prices have surged to near record highs as investors shift into those safe haven assets. Let's get to the themes of the day. September sell. Maybe we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but nonetheless, that is the way we have begun the month after a very positive month in August across reporting season where we saw the index up more than 3%. Gold rush, that's very much the case today. All of the top movers in the gold space following the price of bullion higher. And Labor Day lull, we do have a long weekend in the States courtesy of Labor Day, so markets will be closed tonight. Let's check the sectors then, see the best and worst. And the gold sector, as I said, very much the best there, led by the likes of Regis, Northern Star, tearing up back above $20 with a 6% rise there. Elsewhere, consumer staples, and that was mostly positive as well, aside from Woolies off marginally there, but obviously that has been under significant pressure since it reported last week, whereas Coles has gone the opposite direction. Among the banks, they began the day fairly flat, but have deteriorated over the course to CBA down more than 1%. And tech, perhaps the hardest hit sector there, led by WiseTech, which is off 4.5%, Xero following suit. Getting into the top stories of the day then, and Caterpillar out of the States has bid for RPM Global for $5 a share. As a result, RPM shares up more than 23%. The former chief executive of Incitec Pivot, now Dana Nobel, will join the board of Worley as an independent non-executive director, and gold explorer Genesis has more than doubled its exploration budget for FY26 to between $40 and $50 million. And Activeport is partnering with Megaport to further interconnect among telco operators in Asia. Elsewhere, Insurance Australia, its shares climbing after an $855 million deal to secure a 90% stake in RACQ's Credit Corp, also falling there, as the company announced that Ewan Crouch has postponed his start as a non-executive director. Morningstar has raised its fair value estimate for Virgin Australia to $2.80, but its shares off slightly. The broker there expecting higher fares and fuller planes for Virgin in FY26, but said this could attract competition in the medium term. Lynas Rare Earths has gained, and Morgan Stanley lifting its price target, and Bapcor falling as Citi lowers its 2026 earnings forecast on high costs. Well, let's now turn to stock of the day. It was Pro Medicus. Its US subsidiary Visage Imaging received an authority to operate for its Visage 7 platform from the US Department of Veterans Affairs. Well, to get a cross analysis of the stock, we heard from David Lane from Ordinet and Kai Chen from MPC Markets.
Another win, but as you said, it's one that has been years in the making. So I think the market hasn't been overly surprised by the announcement, and we've actually seen the share price off a little bit today. Pro Medicus is an exceptional business and a really good company. Their result actually came through in reporting season ahead of expectations, and they've got some really good margins. So margins of about 76%. In their business. So from that perspective, it's very good. But as you rightly said, Valuation, very high.
Where current valuations sit, I think Prometheus is about 30 billion. So it's a bit lofty. However, saying that, it's continued to surprise on the upside, and it's a fantastic business with incredibly high margins. So if you're in this stock, I would hold.
All right, let's get to the best and worst on today's trade this Monday. Getting to those winners, very much in the gold space, following the price of bullion higher, led by Capricorn, Genesis, Emerald Resources, Westgold, all up between 7 and 10%. Harvey Norman also on that list after a broker upgrade, some positivity off the back of its results, particularly in terms of its guidance there. Checking in on the small cap space. So in fact, let's first go to the laggards there. Generation Development came off 8%. Mesoblast also falling, along with Bapcor, which had a broker downgrade. In the smaller space, 4D Medical, off the back of some significant news there, it was up more than 38%. Silver Mines, also the price of silver is on the move, along with gold, and obviously some small cap gold miners on that list as well. Whereas Energy Transitions come off more than 16%. EZ Life Science also taking a tumble, along with Energy Well and Indian Resources. Getting across what is on the agenda overnight, we do have markets closed in the US for Labor Day. In the UK and EU, we get manufacturing PMIs, expect to be stable in the UK, France, Germany and Italy, and also the unemployment rate for the EU. Looking ahead locally tomorrow, we get the balance of payments for the June quarter and some laggards there on the earnings calendar. Bellevue Gold will be reporting. Those trading ex-div will include Santos, Northern Star, Iluka, Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, and Codan. So let's recap where we're finishing on this Monday, off just over 0.5% on the CBO 200. Similar moves there we have seen with the ASX 200. Tech being the biggest laggard there, whereas the subsector of gold doing very well today. That is the COB, and don't forget, our last episode of the Investment Committee will be released just after this. Our panel made a couple of changes to the fantasy portfolio that includes CBA, BHP and Northern Star, among others. So be sure to get stock-specific analysis. That's coming right up.
The COB is brought to you by Montgomery Investment Management. The world is volatile. Your financial future doesn't have to be. Find out more at montinvest.com.